Alright, ICT traders, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I want to show you something very powerful. I want to show you how to use this ICT Confluence to get an entry. It is a very powerful entry model that if you use, you're going to really enjoy it. I have two of them. I've already made a video explaining the first one. You can find the video right here on my YouTube channel. You can see it. I've explained everything in detail right there. So you can go ahead and find it on my YouTube channel. And if you have not yet subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. So let's get into this video. I'll be very brief in explaining this particular entry model. So let's get into it. This one, I call it a fair value gap in a fair value gap entry model. I will shortly show you what I mean by that. Let me start by sketching this kind of entry model for you, and then we'll go back to our chart and find them literally. We'll do some practicals right there. So looking at this, normally when you see price comes like this and then have something like this, you will understand that this is a balanced price range, right? Now, if you have price balancing this range like this, if you have a fair value gap on this side that was created, and then while price is trying to balance it, it created another fair value gap inside this big one. All right, this is what I call a fair value gap in a fair value gap entry model. You're going to see price coming back to reference into this particular fair value gap before moving in the other direction. But I will prefer to always use it when there is a break of structure or a visible shift in market structure. All right, you need to see these ones before you can take trade with this kind of entry model. So this fair value gap becomes your balanced price range, or what I call the fair value gap in a fair value gap entry model. I hope this is understandable enough. The same thing happens for a bearish movement. When you see a balanced price range like this, then you see a fair value gap on the other side. Let me have it right like this. See a very big fair value gap, and then price creating other one on the other side. If you see price coming back to that area, this area is going to be very significant. Price is going to bounce from there and continue in the opposite direction. So let's go to the chart and do some practicals, just a very brief one. All right, I have some of them right here. So look at this. All right, we can see it from this movement. Price had this movement and this shift in market structure right here. All right, I hope this is visible enough for you to see what I'm saying. This shift in market structure. Then guys, this is not some kind of an entire tutorial on how to do this trading. Every single ICT concept must be obeyed, such as break of market structure, understanding order flow, and every other single concept that ICT taught. All right, so look at this price move up to that area, coming back. Look at this, a very big fair value gap that was created right here. Can you see this very big fair value gap? And then this small fair value gap inside this big fair value gap. Price came back and referenced into it right here, and then had a shift from there and completely turned direction. So you can see the first example, a very big fair value gap right here and a small fair value gap inside it. So normally the small fair value gap is the point of attraction. It's the point of attraction where the price is coming into. This is a repricing model. Price is repricing into this area, and boom, you had a movement from there. All right, so look at another example right here. And you can also consider this very big candle as a bullish order block. You can take this and say this is three confluences, whatever way you want to see it. Now, this is one thing with trading, as I told you earlier. Trading is more flexibility to know exactly what you're looking for. If you see an order block right here, a fair value gap, and then you can see break of structure, a very big fair value gap on the other side and another side, it's a very good confluence you want to use. All right, right here I can see one here. Can you see a fair value gap here, and then another fair value gap inside this one? I've already marked it out right here. This very big fair value gap from my left side, then a small one inside. Price came back into the small one and then pushed down to that level. All right, a fair value gap in a fair value gap entry model. Let me show you more of this so you can see how this can be seen. Another very brief example is this one. You can see a fair value gap on your left hand side and a fair value gap inside this one from your left hand side. The price came into this fair value gap and having a touch with this order block. All these are confluences you want to see happening. Then it moved in the other direction. I saw a very small one happening today. Let me show you that one, and you can see it. Let's go to the chart for today. All right, let me show you the one I saw today. Very powerful one, very small one, and it will surprise you to see that price actually came back to it. Look at this. A small fair value gap inside a very big one. This is a very big fair value gap, and you can see price coming back, referencing into it, and then pushing down to the downside from there. All right, you can see that as your perfect fair value gap in a fair value gap. I saw it and this is what I was looking for, a fair value gap in a fair value gap entry model. All right, you can see this one. Can you see this one? Even if it did not give you that entry movement you want to see, it will give you some certain reaction of price around that area. So let's have a look at this particular one. Look at this guy. Okay, so you can actually see that this one, the one up here, let me adjust this properly so you can see the one here from my left side, and then there is a small one right here. To make it very clear, you can see this small one, price came back after this complete shift in structure. Price came back and we have a fair value gap from this side and then a fair value gap on this side. Then this small movement, this small retracement from here, and then it pushed up because there is one above there at the extreme, and that is the beauty of understanding premium and discount area. Price had to move downward. All right, let me find more examples and show you. All right, here is another example right here. Let me show you this, a very perfect one. You can see this one closed outside this. That means this is a break of structure. Okay, price is coming back. You can see a fair value gap here and a fair value gap inside it. Can you see this one? Above it there is a fair value gap. I hope you're seeing this clearly. This one, let me adjust this properly so you can see it. Changing the color to, let's give it ash, or that particular color. All right, so you can see what I'm saying. Look at this. Price is coming back to it. Okay, we have it here and we have it here. Okay, a fair value gap inside a fair value gap, and price had to come back into it. It's a very perfect confluence and pushing down balance price range. A fair value gap in a fair value gap entry, confirmation, or what you call entry model. I saw one right there. Let me show you that particular one. All right, this is the one I saw, I think. Let me show you how this one looks like. This one looks a bit confusing. All right, you can see this fair value gap and then this one using the same candles as fair value gap. I also consider this one as my balance price range, okay, especially with the fact that there is an order block close to it with this fair value gap and then fair value gap. They are sharing the same thing. Price coming back, test one, moving, then coming back, but I would prefer to take the trade right here because I'm not seeing any visible break of structure before this retracement. As it came back, you're having your movement from there. Okay, so you are going to go through your chart and find this kind of confluence, a fair value gap inside a fair value gap, and then you can use that as a point of interest, or what we call a reference point. Okay, so go ahead and do that, guys. And if you find value in this video, be sure you give this video a like and make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. See you in another video.